All right. Number 43 says to find simplify, write the expression in terms of x and y only. Huh. Well, if the directions say write the given expression in terms of x and y only, you could just circle this and say, well, that's an expression in terms of x and y only. I think the spirit of the question, though, is see if you can write this as an expression without trig functions, but rather just algebraic functions. So this is a ratio. X is a ratio, and when you take the inverse sine of x, it gives you an angle. So let's call that angle something. Let's say theta is the inverse sine of x over 1. Similarly, let's call this angle something else. We'll call that alpha or phi. Let's call it phi. That is the inverse tangent of y over 1. So let's draw. So this problem simplifies to the cosine of simply theta minus phi. The problem is I can't really find theta minus phi. I know the individual angles, but not the difference. But if I got this difference, I can write it as cosine theta cosine phi, change the sign, sine theta sine phi. This is our identity. That's from our notes. So basically, I need to be able to find the sine, cosine of each of these angles. Well, let's draw these angles. Sine is going to be an angle in these two in these two quadrants. I'm just going to, and then depending on whether x is positive or negative, I'm just going to draw it up here, and let's not worry too much about some of the nuance. I could talk forever about it. Sine is x over 1. Use the Pythagorean theorem to get this. That's the square root of 1 minus x squared. And then the other one for the angle phi, we'll do the same thing. Tangent is in these two quadrants. Let's just simplify it and put it in the first. Tangent is y over 1, so this is the square root of 1 plus y squared. Okay? So this angle is theta, and this angle is phi. Or if you wanted to, you could call it reference theta and reference phi, but it actually is the angles, whatever. All right, so here we go. So what is the cosine of theta? Cosine of theta, look at this triangle here. Cosine is square root of 1 minus x squared all over 1 times the cosine of this angle. That is 1 over square root of 1 plus y squared, plus the sine of this one is x over 1, which I could have actually got from here too, you know, the inverse sine of this angle, yeah, whatever. And the sine of phi is y over square root of 1 plus y squared. I will not ask you to rationalize the denominator on these because you can't, because you don't know what x and y is. But we do have a common denominator, so I expect you to clean it up. We'll just write this as x plus y plus the square root of 1 minus x squared all over the common denominator. I think that looks pretty good. I don't know if that's the book's answer, but I don't care. It's my answer. Very good.